Welcome to St Olaves and Newstead Homework 10. Question 1. In lines 3 to 4, the author describes the anticipation as like the slow build of a symphony's opening notes. Which literary device is being used here? Your options are A. Simile, B. Metaphor, C. Alliteration, D. Personification, or E. Hyperbole. The correct answer is A. Simile. Now remember, a simile is a comparison between two things using the words like or as. In this case, the anticipation is being directly compared to the slow beginning of a symphony using the word like. Question 2. In lines 3 to 4 again, what comparison is made between the anticipation before going on stage and the start of a symphony? Your options are A. Both are characterized by a gradual rise, B. Both involve rapid and sudden movements, C. Both are completely silent, D. Both are chaotic and unpredictable, or E. Both are loud and reverberating. The correct answer is A. Both are characterized by a gradual rise. This means that both the feeling of anticipation and the beginning of a symphony start slowly and build up over time, getting more and more intense as they go on. Question 3. Moving on to line 10, what tone does the author use when describing the audience's reaction as a hushed reverence? Your options are A. Excitement, B. Tension, C. Reverence, D. Anticipation, or E. Fear. The correct answer is C. Reverence. When someone shows reverence, it means they are feeling deep respect, almost like they are in awe of something. So a hushed reverence means the audience is quiet and full of respect. Question 4. What does the author compare the stage to? Your options are A. A canvas where shadows play, B. A blank sheet of paper, C. A mirror reflecting one's soul, D. A dark abyss, or E. A surface where dancing is seen. The correct answer is A. A canvas where shadows play. A canvas is what artists paint on. The author is using that image to compare it to the stage, where the shadows move around and play, like an artist creating something amazing. Question 5. Now let's think about line 14. What phrase could replace "My voice, my instrument, is an extension of my very being," so that the paragraph still means the same thing? Your options are A. My vocal talents are an essential part of who I am, B. On stage, my voice is a mere tool, C. My singing voice embodies my true self, D. On stage, I am both a vessel and a beacon, or E. On stage, my voice becomes a manifestation of my soul. The correct answer is E. On stage, my voice becomes a manifestation of my soul. This means the author's voice is not just a tool, it's a way for their inner self to be expressed and made real. Question 6. How does the author describe the audience's emotions during the performance? Your options are A. As a chaotic mix of emotions, B. As a calm and serene sea, C. As a kaleidoscope of feelings, D. As a silent and unresponsive crowd, or E. As a counterpart to how he feels. The correct answer is C. As a kaleidoscope of feelings. A kaleidoscope is a toy that makes beautiful patterns out of different colors. The author uses this to show that the audience is feeling all sorts of emotions, and they change like the patterns in the toy. Question 7. What tone does the author use when describing the phrase "a dance with destiny" in line 31? Your options are A. It adds a sense of optimism and hope, B. It emphasizes the uncertainty and unpredictability of the journey, C. It conveys a sense of inevitability and predeterminability of the path, D. It evokes a tone of sadness and regret, or E. It symbolizes a sense of joy and celebration. The correct answer is B. It emphasizes the uncertainty and unpredictability of the journey. When we dance with destiny, it shows that we don't know exactly what will happen in the future. It's a journey full of surprises. Question 8. Finally, at the very end of the passage, what does the author look forward to for the future? Your options are A. Another performance, B. Retirement, C. Silence, D. Reflection, or E. Fulfillment. The correct answer is A. Another performance. The author is excited to step onto the stage again, and that shows that they look forward to performing in the future. And that's it. We have finished St Olaves 9. Question 9 asks, what is the primary theme or subject of this passage? So what is the main idea? We have 5 options. A. The challenges of performing on stage. B. The symbiotic relationship between the singer and the audience. C. The emotional journey of a performer. D. The beauty of music and human connection. Or E. The techniques to evoke emotions in the audience. The correct answer is D. The beauty of music and human connection. The explanation tells us that the passage really focuses on how music can change us and bring us together through emotions. It's all about the powerful way music connects us. Now for question 10. Which language device is not used in this passage? The options are A. Metaphor, B. Simile, C. Alliteration, D. Hyperbole, and E. Onomatopoeia. The correct answer is E. Onomatopoeia. You might remember that onomatopoeia is when words sound like the noises they're describing, like buzz or hiss. While the passage uses other literary devices like similes and metaphors to compare things, it doesn't use any of those sound words, so that's why onomatopoeia is the correct answer. Moving on to question 11. What purposes does the first paragraph serve? You need to choose two answers here. The options are A. To instruct the singer on proper breathing techniques, B. To create a calming and meditative atmosphere among the chaos, C. To emphasize the singer's nerves before performing, D. To describe the physical actions of the singer, or E. To highlight the singer's fear for the performance. The correct answers are B. To create a calming and meditative atmosphere among the chaos, and C. To emphasize the singer's nerves before performing. The first paragraph is doing two things, setting a calm and focused mood, but also showing us how nervous the singer is before they perform. Next is question 12. The passage is written in American English. Which two words are spelled differently in British English? We have the options A. Corridors, B. Solace, C. Theater, D. Fulfillment, and E. Precipice. The correct answers are C. Theater, and D. Fulfillment. In British English, theater is spelled theater, and fulfillment is spelled fulfillment, so a single L. These differences are common between American and British English. Now let's do some math. Question 13 asks us to work out the size of angle BAKE. We have a right angle, which is 90 degrees, and another angle that measures 110 degrees. You might remember that the angles all around a point add up to 360 degrees. So adding the two angles we know, 110 plus 90 is 200. Now we subtract 200 from 360, which gives us a total of 160 degrees. So the size of angle Y is 160 degrees. Question 14 is similar. It says, work out the size of angle Y. We are given an angle of 121 degrees. We also need to know that angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So to figure out the size of angle W, we just subtract 121 from 180, which means angle W is 59 degrees. Question 15. So the question asks us to figure out the size of angle OP. We are given one angle, which is 57 degrees, and we also see a little square in the corner of another angle, which tells us it's a right angle, and that means that it is exactly 90 degrees. Now to find angle PEEP, we know that both of these angles together form that right angle, so what we need to do is subtract the given angle, 57 degrees, from the right angle, which is 90 degrees. So if we subtract 57 from 90, we get 33 degrees. Therefore, the size of angle P is 33 degrees. Question 16. Work out the size of angle X in the quadrilateral. We've got a quadrilateral, which is a four-sided shape, and we know the angles of a quadrilateral all add up to 360 degrees. The angles given are 101 degrees, 90 degrees, and 53 degrees. So first, let's add those together. 101 plus 90 plus 53 equals 244. Now subtract 244 from 360, and that gives us 116 degrees. So the size of angle X is 116 degrees. 17. Question 17 asks, work out the size of angle Y in the right-angled triangle. We're given that one angle is 38 degrees, and we have a right angle which is 90 degrees. Remember, the angles inside a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So first, let's add the angles we know. 38 plus 90 is 128 degrees. Then, subtract that from 180 degrees to find the missing angle. 180 minus 128 equals 52. So the size of angle Y is 52 degrees. Now for question 18. Work out the size of angle X. We have angles of 135 degrees and 70 degrees. All the angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. Let's add the angles we have. 135 plus 70 equals 205. Subtracting 205 from 360 gives us 155. Therefore, the size of angle x is 155 degrees. Next up is question 19. Work out the size of x. Here, we have 3 equal angles on a straight line. Remember, the angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Since the angles are equal, we just need to divide 180 by 3, which gives us 60. So the size of angle x is 60 degrees. Moving on to question 20. Work out the size of angle x in the triangle. We have a triangle with angles of 48 degrees and 86 degrees. We know that the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So, add the angles we know. 48 plus 86 is 134. Then, subtract 134 from 180, and we get 46. The size of angle x is 46 degrees. Question 21 asks, work out the size of angle lie in the quadrilateral. In a quadrilateral, all the angles add up to 360 degrees. We have angles of 120 degrees, 130 degrees, and 75 degrees. Add those together. 120 plus 130 plus 75 equals 325. Now subtract 325 from 360 to find the missing angle, and the answer is 35. So the size of angle y is 35 degrees. Now let's tackle question 22. This question has 2 parts. A. Work out the size of angle A. We are given one angle of 104 degrees. Because vertically opposite angles are equal, angle A is also 104 degrees. B. Work out the size of angle B. We know that the angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Since we know one of the angles on this line is 104, subtract that from 180. That means angle B is 76 degrees. Let's move on to question 23, which is a word problem. Phil is a personal trainer and asks us, who is Phil double booked? The correct answer is E, Amanda, and Pauline. The explanation shows that we need to map out the bookings starting with Claire on Monday. Then, using all the clues about when the others are booked, we can see that both Amanda and Pauline end up scheduled for Friday, meaning Phil double booked them. Lastly, let's solve. Question 24, another word problem. 5 trucks travel the primary route and asks, which truck is the last to arrive back at the depot? The correct answer is E, truck E. By following all the clues about which trucks arrive before or after the others, we can establish the order, with truck E being the last one to arrive back at the depot. Number 25. Question 25. So this question asks us to find 2 statements that, when put together, prove that Emily goes to acrobatic classes. Here are the statements to consider. 1. Emily's school teaches gymnastics and acrobatics. 2. Laura has acrobatic lessons with Jeremy. 3. Emily's friend Jeremy attends gymnastics and acrobatics classes. 4. Jeremy and Emily are in the same classes. 5. Jeremy's sister Laura attends gymnastics classes with Emily. And we have 5 options to choose from, which are A, 1 and 2, B, 2 and 3, C, 3 and 4, D, 2 and 5, and E, 1 and 5. The correct answer is C, 3, and 4. Here's why. Statement 3 tells us that Jeremy goes to acrobatics classes, and statement 4 tells us that Emily is in the same classes as Jeremy. So if Jeremy attends acrobatics classes and Emily is in the same classes as him, that means she also goes to acrobatic classes. Make sense? Question 26. For this one, we need to find the word that has a meaning most similar to obtain. The options are A, busy, B, interrupt, C, secure, D, acquittal, and E, acquire. The correct answer is E, acquire. The word acquire means to get or gain something. Similarly, obtain also means to get or gain something. So they're very similar. Question 27. This question gives us some statements about different types of IFS, and we have to figure out which conclusion is correct. Let's see. All HIFS are PIFS. Some SIFS are RIFS. All ZIFS are SIFS. All PIFS are ZIFS. We need to see which option is definitely true, based on those statements. The options are A, all ZIFS are RIFS. B, some HIFS are ZIFSC. All RIFS are SIFSD. All HIFS are RIFS and E. Some ZIFS are PIFS. The correct answer is E. Some ZIFS are PIFS. If all PIFS are ZIFS, it means some of those ZIFS must also be PIFS. Think of it like this. If all apples are fruit, then some of the fruit must be apples. Question 28. This time we have some statements using made-up words again, and we have to see what logically follows. Some pings are ailings. All hings are fings. Some tings are pings. The question is what makes the most sense based on these statements. The options are A. Some lings may also be tings. B. All pings are lings. C. All hings are tings. D. Some fings are lings. E. All hings are pings. The correct answer is A. Some lings may also be tings. Since some tings are pings and some pings are thonglings, it's possible that some lings could also be tings. See how they overlap a little? Question 29. Okay, so for this one, we have to find the odd word out. Which one doesn't belong? Here are the options. A. Conventional. B. Peculiar. C. Conservative. D. Typical. E. Traditional. The correct answer is B. Peculiar. All of the other words, conventional, conservative, typical, and traditional, are related to things that are normal or expected. But peculiar means something that is strange or unusual, so it's the odd one out. Question 30. In this question, we need to pick the word that is most similar in meaning to perplexing. Let's see, the options are A. Curious, B. Ambiguous, C. Complex, D. Incomprehensible, E. Confucius. The correct answer is D. Incomprehensible. Both perplexing and incomprehensible describe something that is difficult to understand, so they are very similar. Question 31. Here we have a list of words that are all related in some way, and we need to find the one that doesn't fit. The words are feeling, altruistic, human, and volunteer. The options are A. Malevolent, B. Selfless, C. Humanitarian, D. Unselfish, and E. Generous. The correct answer is A. Malevolent. All the other words, selfless, humanitarian, unselfish, and generous, are related to being kind and helpful. But malevolent means wanting to do bad things, so it doesn't fit with the rest. Question 32. This one is a little like a riddle. We have 5 babies in the hospital, and we have to figure out which baby fits a certain description. Let's go over the clues. Baby 1 is heavier, with red hair. Baby 2 is male and thin, with the same color hair as baby 3, who is blonde and wears a bonnet. Baby 4 is one of the 3 female babies. Baby 5 wears sunglasses and is heavier. All babies wear bonnets, and at least one of the females wears sunglasses. A thin, red-haired baby wearing a bonnet is the oldest of the group. Based on that, who is it? Here are the options. A. Baby 1, B. Baby 2, C. Baby 3, D. Baby 4, E. Baby 5. The correct answer is D. Baby 4. Baby 4 is one of the 3 female babies, and the thin, red-haired baby wearing a bonnet is the oldest. This matches baby 4.
Question 33. NVR. We have to fill in the blank. So what comes next in this series? You can see each time these 2 grey shapes is rotating clockwise. We know the next one is going to be this shape is grey and this shape is grey. So I've cancelled out all the options. Only B and D are available. It can either be B or D. If you look at the shapes as well, you've got 2 pluses, then you have 2 stars, 2 hearts. 2 pluses, 2 stars, and we know it's going to be 2 hearts. So it's going to be option D. Next question. You have another series here, and you can see it's pretty much repeating. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then it repeats back to this. So we know the next option is going to be this one. Question 35, we can see that this row is the same as this row. So this is like a matrix question. You can see every 2 rows you get the same one. So if we know every 2 rows after this, we should have the same one that looks exactly like this, or has got at least the same sort of pattern, because you can see the colors are different from here to here. The colors are different. They're in the different shade, but it's the same pattern. It's square, triangle, circle. So we need one of these options that goes triangle, circle, square, which is option B. Question 36. This time it's a proper 3x3 matrix question. Let's look at the pattern. It looks like it's going left to right. Circle on the left, then middle, then right. Left, middle, right. Left, middle, right. Okay. We know it's going to be either here or here or here. So I'm going to cancel out these two options. Look at the star. Looks like it's going down. Right, middle, left. Right, middle, left. There's no star here. Then it's in the middle. So it's probably actually behind here. And then it's on the left. So it's going to be on the left and in the circle is here. Question 37. So this question, it looks like the pattern is going downwards. And it looks like the first box is subtracted from the second box. So you subtract or remove the circle from the second box. That's why you're left with this. And from this one, you subtract the first box from the second box, you actually get left with nothing, which is why you're left with a white box, because that's the exact same shape. Now, if you try and subtract this from the x, you're not actually removing anything, so you would actually just get the x, okay, because there's no line to remove. Question 38. Now, let's work through this one. Again, it's another series question. Let's look at what's changing from shape to shape. You got 5 black dots, and then you have 7, and then you have 5 again here, then you have 7 again. So we know this one should be 5. Now if we look at any of these options, only option E has 5 dots. Question 39. Now what we can see is the triangle. This section becomes the big one. And then if you look at the next one, this section right here, so the section that's overlapping, so this semicircle, becomes the big shape. And then you look at this trapezium, that becomes the big shape. So this shaded area, which looks like a quarter circle, is going to be the big shape, which is option B. You can see the big shape. Question 40, you've got a sequence here. It goes orange, then white, then orange, then white. We know it's going to be orange. We look at the shapes. These are swapped as they get closer, and then it's rotated. Okay? And then it's back to being spread apart. So we have to sort of come across, I might say, let's say this came up, and then they swapped. Then it went across, and then it went down, and left to make this. So what we should have So I think if we look at the blue circle, or the dark blue circle, and just look at it separately, it's going across all of the different corners. So next it's going to be in the bottom left corner, which is option C. You can also look at what's happening with the blue circle. So first it's up in the top left, then it's in the middle left, and then it's in the top middle, and it's in the bottom left. So it looks like it moves one space down, then it moves 2 spaces across clockwise, and then it moves 3 places anti-clockwise. So it's probably going to move 4 places clockwise until it gets to this right, top right. But realistically, you can actually find the answer just by looking at the blue circle and how it's moving, right? Because moving clockwise across the corners. And the only option that has that is option C. Question 41. Let's look at the bottom shapes. Triangle's pointing right, then left, then right, then left. We know it's going to be pointing right next. Cancel option A. 7 sides, 6 sides, 5 sides, 4 sides. It's going to be 3 sides next. And we know it's only going to be 1 dot. Now, where should the triangle be? Obviously at the top, not at the right. So option B. Final question. With this one, it's asking for a reflection. So if you reflect, we'll draw the closest shape first. It's going to look like this. And the only option that's got that is option D or option A. And then if you reflect this, it should be pointing inwards, like option A.